What is up, people? My name is Martin. This is my first ever video, so thank you for stopping by. With gyms open up in the UK again, I think that this is a good time to be talking about motivation. There's going to be a lot of people who are just coming back to the gym having not been able to train for a year. And there's also going to be a lot of people who are going to be starting their fitness journey. They've thought, okay, it's an opportunity now. I've had a year where I said I was going to do it, I haven't done it, and now I'm going to do it, take it seriously. You might not know where to start, you might not know how to get yourself motivated. I think either side of the fence you're on, these few tips are going to be really useful for you. So the first of these tips, and I hate myself saying this because it is a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason, and that is find your why. Why do you want to work out? And really take some time to drill down into this. I've done this in the past and I'd like to write it down on just a physical piece of paper. I find it's much easier to visualize and remember things if you're writing them down rather than typing them in your phone. Once you've got the drafts done, you can make it a bit neater and refine your why. You can then type it into your phone, so you've got it somewhere with you at all times. A lot of people will say, for example, I want to start working out because I want to lose weight. Okay, but why do you want to lose weight? Oh, because I want better definition, I want to be able to see my abs. Okay, so you don't want to lose weight, what you want to lose is body fat, that's great. Why do you want to lose body fat? Why do you want to look a certain way? And you need to really just drill down into it like that. It's, no one can tell you how to do it, but if you just, at every juncture where you come to yourself, I want to lose weight, ask yourself why. Why do I want to do that? And within that, you need to differentiate between what you want and what you need. I think that's another thing that a lot of people don't do. If you say to yourself, I need to do this, if I say to myself, I need to clean the inside of my car by the end of the day, and I don't get around to doing it, it's still drivable, it's not filthy to the inside to the point where it's going to mould from the inside out. There's nothing wrong with it, it's not something I needed to do. My life is no worse for having not done it. Because I said I needed to do it, psychologically and mentally that makes you feel unproductive and it makes you feel worse. Whereas if I said, I want to clean my car today and I didn't get around to it, I'd be like, oh well, never mind, another day. So it's very important to learn what you want to do and what you need to do. Again, going back to the example of losing weight, a lot of people will say, I'm going to go to the gym because I need to lose weight. But do you? I think, in my opinion, there's only two categories of people who need to lose weight, and those are people who are overweight to the point where it's medically detrimental to their body and to their physical health, and people who are competing in a sport like boxing or MMA where they're competing by a weight class. So really, if you're not in either of those categories, then you don't need to lose weight. You want to lose weight, and that's fine. But again, just understand that it's something you want to do and not something you need to do, because that's going to make it so much easier for you to stick to your goals when you have inevitably a bad day and you can't be bothered to go to the gym because you've had a long day at work, it's been very difficult, you've got things in your personal life that are getting in the way. It happens, it's okay. Tip number 2 is to learn the difference between what is your intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. So the intrinsic stuff is what comes within you. That's, again, that'll be finding your why. You'll really get a bit of a better understanding as to what motivates you internally from that. But there could also be extrinsic factors. You might want to look like a certain person. You might want to look better to impress other people. And we've all been there. So tip number 3 is to set realistic and achievable but challenging goals. It's very easy to say, I want to lose 12 pounds, I want to do that in a month. But realistically, you're not going to do that. That's going to take you 3, maybe 4 months, which is absolutely fine. But if you say, I want to lose that in a month, and you get to a month and you're only 4 pounds down, that is still fantastic progress. But losing £1 a week isn't something that's easy to do. But you're going to be so far away from your final goal that you're going to feel massively demotivated. So you've got to understand how to make those goals realistic and achievable. But at the same time, saying I want to lose £1 a week is challenging. So you're going to if you get to every week and you weigh yourself, you're going to feel so much more motivated than if you left it 4 weeks and were only a third of the way to the goal that you wanted to be overall. Tip number 4 is to track your progress and to do it in multiple ways. So if you are trying to lose weight, just stepping on the scales might not be enough. There are a number of factors that can affect your weight, and you might have additional bloating, you might be carrying additional water weight 1 week, and that can give you a bit of a skewed view of your progress. So for example, I every week take progress pictures and I take various measurements from my body. Last week I had a week where I ate quite a lot of carbs, stayed within my maintenance calories pretty much, so I shouldn't have put on any weight in theory, but I was 2 kilos heavier than I was the week before. I took my progress pictures and I took my measurements and I compared them against the week before, and I looked better. My measurements had all gone down. And I think if I was just using the scales in that instance, it would have been hugely demotivating to say, I worked really hard last week. Yeah, my diet wasn't on point, but but I've put on weight. Whereas in reality, I have still made some progress. My goal overall is to improve my physique. My physique looked better, so my weight didn't really matter. When you're tracking things, again, I would advise having something in a hard copy. Again, you can put this in your phone. You can use MyFitnessPal to track your nutrition, what you've eaten, what your calories are, and you can just write down in your phone the workouts you've done in the week, and then next week you can go into the gym and say, okay, last week I benched 60 kilos for 10 reps, let's try 62.5 for 10, or let's try 60 for 12. And I found very useful these two beauties, which I found on Amazon, which I will put a link to in the comments, because they've changed the game for me, really. I can write down in the physical copy what I have, and I have that with me every time I work out. So if I need to know what weights I was lifting last week, I can just flip the page back. That might not work for you. You might want to get a spreadsheet, put it on your phone, and that might be easier for you. Tip number 5 is to increase your accountability. This might not be something that works for everyone, but it's something that I found works really well for me. You can do this, again, in a number of ways. When I first started training, I told my girlfriend, my family, that I was working out and going to the gym and trying to make some progress. And they were quite supportive. It felt like I had a bit more support behind me. It wasn't just me doing that. They were all rooting for me as well. And that felt pretty positive. It was a little bit later, when I got a bit more confident in the gym, I started to tell some of my friends and then people I worked with. And that, again, was a nice little boost, because you can have people in the day asking you how your workouts were, and that might feel a bit better. Something I did a bit more recently, because I wanted to up that accountability a bit more, was when we first went into lockdown. It was quite difficult not seeing people throughout the day. It made it a bit more difficult to be accountable. So I started an Instagram account for my fitness stuff, MJ Fitness Essex. Please feel free to follow me. And I found that just having that on there felt really good. You get your comment from random people, you'll get likes, people are seeing your progress, talking to you about your progress and trying to open up the dialogue. I've had a few people I've started conversations with off the back of that, and we've kind of helped each other progress. And it's just something that I've found was really helpful. And because I'm feeling generous, here's a little bonus tip for you. Find something that hypes you up. That might be a pre-workout song. It might be finding a motivational speech. I'll put, again, something in the comments, I'll pop a link to below. There's a classic couple of speeches from Arnie that I've found compiled into one that I find really helps me motivate myself and pick myself up when if I wake up in the morning and I can't be bothered to work out, or I just don't have the energy. I find switching on one of these and listening to these can really help. And that's it for my first video. If you like this, drop me a like, maybe comment in there, let me know if this has helped you. If it hasn't, also let me know. Any constructive feedback is welcome. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, subscribe. I've got a few videos I'm working on in the pipeline. I'm thinking of doing weekly videos just to keep updated on my progress, share any tips that I think are useful that I found helpful in the past or have in that week. If there's anything you guys want to see, again, drop me a comment. Peace.